Hi, I'm Justin Barba, professional paint contractor. Today we're going to take a look at Benjamin Moore's Advance Interior Waterborne Alkyd. As you can see, we're on a nearly complete remodel. It's all coming together. The floors are in, the cabinets are on the way, and almost everything is painted. We've used Benjamin Moore's ultra-flat waterborne ceiling paint on the ceilings and Aura and Natura on the walls. Now we're just down to the trim, doors, and beadboard. With dogs and kids around, these things take a daily beating, so we want to use a durable paint that'll hold up over time. In this case, we're using Benjamin Moore's Advance. It's a revolutionary oil-based paint that offers low VOC, low odor, and cleans up with soap and water. Yep, you heard me right. It's an oil you can barely smell, and it cleans up with soap and water. As an oil, Advance is durable, and it flows and levels really well. This makes for a very smooth, glassy finish you usually only get with a conventional oil-based paint. Since it flows and levels so well, Advance can be forgiving to work with. Minor brush marks tend to flow away as the paint film levels. Before painting, make sure your surfaces are free of contaminants like dust, dirt, cooking grease, detergent from inadequate rinsing, or even oils from hand traffic. These can all interfere with adhesion. Advance comes in a specialty primer in 3 finishes: flat, satin, and high gloss. You can use any high-quality brush with Advance, but Benjamin Moore recommends using a nylon polyester blend for best results. I'm using a soft bristle brush to reduce the brush marks a stiffer brush might leave. For the woodwork in this house, we're going to use Advance in a satin finish, since the customer wants the classic smooth look of a traditional oil, but doesn't want the smell and high VOC associated with it. This is especially important with this job because the family's living in the home during the remodel. For detailed work like this, you don't need to fill your pot as full as you would when painting walls or ceilings. And to prevent yourself from getting paint all over the brush, only fill it a couple of inches. When holding your brush, it's important to grip around the ferrule, not far down the handle. And dip the bristles about 1/3 length into the paint. At this step, I like to tap the brush on the side of the bucket instead of raking it against the edge. In some spots, like the edges of door casings, you'll want to rake your brush. With a door like this, I like to start in the upper panel and work from inside out. And with Advance, remember one thing above all: don't put on too much paint. Maintain a wet edge as you go, working quickly to lay on the paint in an even, thin coat. As you lay it on, be careful not to apply too much, especially in nooks and crannies or horizontal surfaces, since these areas tend to catch and channel the paint, creating runs or sags. If you find you have a run, you can easily fix it. First, remove all excess paint from your brush. Now is the time to rake the bristles against the side of the bucket. Next, run the bristles along the heavy spot and lift away some of the paint. Don't make the mistake of using the tip of your brush to do this. Instead, use the sides of the bristles. This will remove less paint from the surface, leaving it there to form a good coat. Keep moving down the door until you're done, looking back over each section as you go. When painting bigger surfaces like this, you have all kinds of options for applying more paint faster. You can use a normal 9-inch roller, or you can go with a jumbo coater like this. Painters call these a weenie roller. I'm using a short nap mohair cover for this beadboard since it'll give me good control over how much paint I apply and should help smooth it out well. Begin by brushing the edges of the beadboard, laying on the paint away from the corner. Avoid getting too much paint too close to the edge. Once you've cut in the edges of a section, make the first pass with your roller, working the paint into the brushed areas. After you've painted a stretch of the surface, dry off your roller, then go back into the first section and lay it off. Roll slowly along the full length of your surface, giving it a full layoff. At this point, you can remove any excess paint from heavy spots. When choosing a trim paint, you usually have to make a trade-off between durability and simplicity. To get the toughness of an oil, you usually have to accept that it'll smell terrible, has to be cleaned up with paint thinner, and yellows over time. With Advance, you get the durability of an oil, but as I said, it cleans up with water, doesn't smell bad, and offers minimal yellowing as it ages. I'm Justin Barba. Thanks for joining me for this look at Benjamin Moore's Advance Interior Waterborne Oil-Based Paint. And here are the colors we used in today's project.